it goes live. Is it live? Hey guys, I just wanted to pop on real quick. It's Pam, and I wanted to do a live painting of our Roundstone Rainbow Brick Road. So in a moment, once we start popping up on the feed, Colin is going to monitor for questions and comments if you have any questions. I am going to be the painter tonight. So the first thing we need to do is to find the center dot. You'll notice on this stone, that we have top dots, meaning 2 layers of dots. So the first thing we have to do is get the base layer down. We always start from the center and work our way out, which is indicative of any mandalas, right? So when we're drawing mandalas or painting them, mandala means circle, by the way. It's like infinite, it's just repetitive patterns. And so we start from the center and work our way out. So
Gerard McDaniel just chimed in.
Hello. So the first thing I'm going to do is find my center dot. And I used to do the really big dot first, but then I found that that's not a great idea because I made a lot of mistakes. I have this little template, and I take my little tool and I just drop it down in there just to get a dot. And then I decide what size I'm going to need to create that dark green dot. That's about right. So I'm dipping my paint, and I'm turning the stone because I'm trying to find the center. And if I don't like that, which I don't, then I wipe it. Sometimes we have to do that like 6 or 7 times.
Not me.
Colin has to do it quite often.
That's not true.
A little bit of water, get that off, and then try again. So, do it again, and try it again. So this is the most important part, is to get this center dot. Yeah, that looks better. Colin, let me know if the light starts fading in and out like it does.
Looks pretty good right
It looks good? Okay. So then that's our starting point. And then I count how many of these dots I put around here. I believe there's 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 12. So this matters, how many dots are around here, because all the rest of this whole pattern is based on that. So I have to squeak in, that's not the right green, squeak in 12 dots. And there is a little bit of a pattern to that. It was pretty green. All right, so as you start, you got to stay away from, you don't want to bleed into the paint. I think it's important to show you guys how we do these because a lot of you are curious, and it's kind of fun to see how things are put together. So now I have 4, so I have to squeeze in 2 on each side, and so you have to, it takes practice to get the spacing done. And by the way, I'm very well aware of Colin's little jibe a few moments ago. We had to build these center templates because of him. Colin's a lot better. He did have trouble with the center dots in the beginning, didn't you, hon?
Lots of trouble.
Yeah, but not anymore.
Now I can eyeball it, and I'm good most of the time.
Yeah, now he says he can eyeball it. So, again, get the 12 dots there. I'm going to move to the white. Is anybody on?
Yeah, we have Elizabeth Gerard McDaniel, Kim Hall, Susan Campbell.
Hey guys. All right, so I'm going to go back in here. And what I'm doing is I'm dipping dot, so I dip and I dot. So I'm going between these dots here. I like to rotate the stone. It's just the way that it works for me.
Hello, Janice Jones.
Hey, Janice. And I have to be aware because as I go, the tool picks up more paint because now it still has paint on it, so it's going to pick up even more. So I have to either wipe the tool or take a little bit of a lighter touch.
And hello to Bridget Gardner-Gordnier.
Hey, Bridget. And Colin is watching the feed to see when you guys are hopping on, so we could say hello. And then now I do wipe my tool. So as you see, we move outwards, outwards. I don't know. Is there any English majors out there? What's the right word? Outward or outwards? Ooh, so now we get these little lips stuck in here. Oh, this paint is so pretty though. Look at that. I love it. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous colors. You guys get these stones and you hold them up to the sunlight. I wouldn't keep them directly in the sun like forever and ever, but if you hold them up to the sunlight, the colors are just amazing. So now this tool here is two-sided. This is the small side I've been working with. Now I'm going to go to the bigger side. Make sure that's about the right side. And I'm going to repeat the pattern. I mean, do we make mistakes? We make mistakes all the time. Some of them are very, we only will wipe a rock if it's going to prevent the whole pattern from showing correctly. I mean, we don't, the dot's going to land where it's going to land because these stones have their own characteristics. Sometimes there's small little bumps or little crevices in them. And we just kind of take that as that's the way it's meant to be. And we just do the very best we can. You can see this inner pattern is starting to emerge. And then the next one I'm going to move to is the orange. Now on this one I'm alternating. It's a small, a big, small, big. So trying to open a can of paint where the plastic is still on it.
Can I help you?
Actually, would you mind handing me that orange right there? I didn't realize this one wasn't open. Thank you. Thanks, honeys. All right. I'm actually going to not use this one because until we water it down a little bit because it's too gummy and it's going to leave those hard peaks on the stone.
Peggy Larson chimed in. She just got her order today.
Yay!
Welcome, Peggy.
Yay! Peggy got her order today. Ah, good, I'm glad. Oh, so gorgeous. I can't stand it. Look at that. It looks like a bottle of sunshine. All right, so moving forward. So this size is about the same size here, so I'm going to do the every other dot first. I'm trying to keep it tight. Might go back in a little bit. The one thing I have to stop myself from doing is to hurry up because I know you guys are watching, because I don't want to make any mistakes, and I do want whoever the recipient is to get the very best work. So you guys can stay for as long or as little as you like. It's up to you. Happy to have you here. And so pretty. So now I'm going to move to using the same color, using a little bit bigger of a tool. I have a whole bunch. I don't know if I've ever showed these to you guys. I have all these different sizes. And I think this one might work. Try this. I always prefer to try a little bit smaller and then go bigger if I have to. And in this one, I think I'm going to try a little bit bigger of it. I don't want to go too big because then it changes the whole pattern. So I'm on the fence. All right. This one I'm just going to barely touch down. All right, there we go. So where are you guys all coming in from? I don't have all your states memorized. So where are you guys hopping in from? I know Janice is from New Jersey. I think Susan Campbell, if memory serves, is Georgia. Forgive me the rest of you guys. I know if I thought about it, I could probably remember, but I don't want to muck up the stone. And then
Elizabeth Gerard McDaniels, Mississippi.
Mississippi, that's right. L-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I. Remember that from a kid. That's how we learned how to spell Mississippi. All right, so now I'm going to move to red. So I have to pay attention because the red is above the small dot, right? So again, this type of dotting is a dip and a dot. So I think I showed you guys in yesterday's video what walking the dot looks like. We'll probably, I don't know if I'm doing any walking the dot, maybe toward the outer end. I'm trying to keep the pattern as tight as possible. Wiping my tool. And then, so this was a blue on the inside, and on this stone we have the blue, but then we moved to a, you have to forgive the sealant. This is the original sealant we have. You can see the brush marks in it. Your stone doesn't show up like that. We have a new sealant. This is our master.
Sue Penley just joined, and
Hey, Sue.
Peggy Larson is from the Finger Lakes area in New York.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. All right, so, I'm going to take that turquoise. So this is a walking of the dot, this one, this pattern. Only complaint I have about these paints is these lips coming in and out. They should glue them down in there.
Anna Fajardo joined, and she is from Idaho.
Idaho. Hello. All right, so do we get paint on our hands? Absolutely. We get paint everywhere. Okay, so this is the walking of the dot, because you can see it's a big dot and it goes to a smaller dot, right? So I'm going to try this end of the tool and do that. So that is taking one dot, not directly center. We try to keep a center line to go straight out. See, nice straight line out. But in this case, I'm going to shift the dot off to the side because two of these go. You'll see. And this is from the same bit of paint. Like that. That's walking the dot. And I'm not dipping each time, and I'm walking it around. Am I doing this right? Yeah. I always second guess myself. It is more of a challenge to talk and do this, I'm not going to lie to you. But it's fun. Colin, just let me know if I go off center.
Looks good from here.
All right. So are there times when we're doing these where the dots bump into each other, right? We used to freak out about it and like wipe the whole stone. But then you know what? It's just meant to be that way. We do our very best. And unless it looks like ridiculous, we won't. But we try really hard. And sometimes maybe these dots just energetically want to be together. Oh, but we do try. So now I'm coming around the other way. And I used to count them, but you know, I just let them fall where they're going to fall. If there's room, there's room. And yeah. So I like this specific stone, this pattern, because there's a lot of really bright colors. And in the middle of winter, I like bright colors. I like to look forward to spring and see what's going to happen with the flowers. I know we're only in February, but I like to dream. All right, so the next one we're going for, I'm getting tangled up in my cord here, is the white. And so I'm going to do a big dot first, and I'm trying to, yeah, I think I'm going to use this tool again. So this big dot is going to go right on top of this orange.
Elizabeth Gerard McDaniel said flaws are beautiful, which they are, unless you drag your arm across the rock.
Yeah, that has happened.
A massive smear. Those aren't so beautiful.
I think we showed you that. We showed you guys one of those. Yeah, that was we do. I can't tell you how many sleeves I've ruined.
And Tana has a question about what tools we use.
These tools, I think you can get them on Amazon. I cannot remember where I got them. I may check Amazon, and the key is to have this one comes in the set. So if you can find it, see, it has like green kind of thingy in here. Yeah, check Amazon to see. I would put in dotting tools, D-O-T-T-I-N-G, dotting tools, and see if you can find them on Amazon. If you can't, let me know, and I will dig back through my records to see where I got them from. I don't know, a while ago. All right, so now I'm going to walk the dot from, I'm actually not going to walk the dot, I'm going to do one dot at a time, all the way around to the other one. So I want to stay as close, so it's a dip and a dot. I'll stay as close to the pattern as I can to still get that round look. So I also want you guys to know that when you get your stones, so you can imagine, the time and the care that we put into it. It's something that we are glad that you guys have, and know that it's something special too, not just because of the lava and the grounding and calming energy that comes from the stone, and the fact that we have good thoughts and all of that while we're doing it. I told you guys before, I believe in an energy. I mean, these stones will warm. I mean, they won't get super hot in just your natural temperature, but they do warm up. They do retain heat. They're lava stones, and they retain energy. And I believe in energy and all of that. So, so I want you to kind of see how cool this is. It's not something that we just, get a machine out and stamp down on them. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we don't do that. I want you to have a nice handmade product. And then even with this design, no two are alike, right? Each one has a little difference. And I'm trying to decide whether I should drop a little dot in there, but I'm worried I'll end up with one big dot. So I'm just going to kind of let it go, work my way all the way around, and then see if I even notice it. Because sometimes by the time you get around, you don't really notice it. Colin was painting the other night for a while. Hun, didn't your hands cramp up?
Yeah, my thumb in particular. I was gripping for a long time, and it was a couple hours, and sometimes things get fatigued.
Yeah. We have to remind ourselves to sit up nice and tall as we're painting too, because I tend to slouch sometimes because I want to get closer to the stone and see it, and I have to remember to do that.
And you have to take breaks.
We do, yep.
Avoid coffee before you paint.
Taking breaks and avoiding coffee. Because it might make you a little jittery, yeah. And it would be like, kind of thing. This one's coming around. See, sometimes I have to redot. I try to go with a bigger one in here. Yeah. So now I don't even remember where that other little dot, it's right there. So what I could do is I can come back. I don't want to risk it, but I'm going to try to make this dot just a teensy bit bigger so you won't really, there we go. By the time the whole design is done, you won't even really, but again, it's not an imperfection, it is a uniqueness of this. And this was one of the things, I started drawing mandalas and things like this, a repetitive pattern after my brain injury. And it really, really, really helped me calm down. My brain was on overdrive. And doing this really helped me tremendously. And then I just started painting them, and there you go. All right, so that's the white. And then I'm going to move to the purple. So sometimes people have asked us, well, how many do you bang out an hour? We're like, well, it depends on the pattern. We do take our time, so we do paint these. We're painting a lot. But no, we just don't whip like 20 off in an hour. I think on an hour, on a good day, maybe two. Maybe three. Three depends on the pattern, yeah. Like Cool Mint is a really cool pattern. That was a little bit faster, but it requires top dotting. All right, so I think I'm going to keep going with this. This one looks like it was walking the dots. Again, this is one of my very first ones, and I could see the differences in the dots, so I want them more consistent. So I'm going to bring this purple one. So I've learned a thing or two since we've done these initially. And I'm going to bring that, because this way I have a point to work toward, and that's what I'm going to do now. So these dots are a little bit bigger, so I like to work counterclockwise. That's just me. That's what works for me. I can see better. If I'm coming toward myself, sometimes I can't see where the tool is landing. And it's just, you kind of get your own, Yeah, I'm going to put one in the middle. You kind of get your own groove. You get your own way of doing it. And I mean, I still wipe rocks. I still wipe them. I just did one yesterday, as a matter of fact. And wiping the rock just means that, you know, I get so far with it and I'm like, ugh, it's off center, or the pattern is dragging, or I make a huge mistake. The good thing about these stones is that you can wipe them off and clean them. Whereas if it's natural stone from outside with all the peaks and crevices, forget it. Forget it. But I like the fact that this is lava stone. I like it. I'll go one more in there. So I hope you guys had a nice day today. Today it was cold and rainy, but not freezing. So all of our snow melted. We had, oh boy, why do I say that? Oh boy, we had snow, and then now it's all gone. All rainy. I'm going around. So I think I can squeeze 2 in here. Oh, that's close. And I have to be mindful for, like I said before, like that this tool can continue to pick up, it could pick up paint and make the dots bigger. So I have to be aware of that. There. The purple is done. So the hardest, I don't want to say the hardest part, the longest part is doing the individual dots all the way around. That takes the longest, but you know, the pattern is really, really, it's pretty, and that's what it's about. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this red and I'm going to do this one. So I see that red comes in the valley of the purple. And this is going to be a little bit bigger. I think that's about it. I allow myself room for the paint to spread. The newer the paint, the thinner it is, so I have to be aware of that. So I'm putting in these in all the valleys. Am I still in the middle of the screen, babe?
You are.
Okay. And then I'm going to walk the dot around it. So I'm going to leave that open. So again, so we have bigger dots and smaller dots. So we're going to walk the dot. And I'm going to walk it. Sorry if I get quiet. Just paying attention. And then I'm going to come back around on the other side. Ah, that's too much paint on it. I'll wipe that off and try again. In this case, when I'm coming around the other side, I will work toward myself. I will do clockwise. Just gotta get a feel for it. This is really fun though. Really enjoyable. And then bringing it around. Oh, that's it. And then again, the last color we're going to do for the base paint is this green, this vibrant turquoise. And that's a walking of the dot as well. Same tool. So this one's pretty good. I mean, this is going to be a bigger one, but this is, it's got to be, let's see this one. Oh, that's too big. This one maybe. Yeah. So this one is going to sit on top of the purple. Now, this pattern will hang off the edge. These stones have slight variations to them, right? Some of them, they're about the same size, but sometimes they're just a little bit smaller. I mean, there's variations in them, so we go for that. I don't mind that the pattern kind of hangs off the edge. I kind of like it, actually. I mean, I know we all hang off the edge of life sometimes. So It kind of wraps it a little bit. I like it. And then, so I'm going to walk the dot. Now I have to be careful now because I tend to lean my hand against the side of the stone. And you have to be careful because this is where you can run into trouble. And if you're going to sneeze, take your hands away from the stone. All right, I'm going to use the ball one. The same thing here. I walk away. I'm being very ginger with my fingers because it is really, really easy to smear. And it happens, and you just figure it out and work through it. I'm going to come back to the other side gently. I keep checking the center dot here because I want to make sure. I want to make sure that I'm staying in the center of the screen for you. And then I actually have another one. It's not round enough. There we go. I have another one that already has this base done, and I'm going to top dot it. See, it matters whether you hold your tool straight up and down or to the side. I held it to the side a little bit on that one. All right, so this completes the base layer, right? And you can see how different it looks. I mean, it does have, and I have dropped a stone right on top of the other one, by the way, many times when I'm looking. So yeah, so you can see that the top dots will change it. It'll add some depth to it. So I'm going to place this little beauty off to the side, and I'm going to reach over and grab this one, and we're going to top dot this. So I always do this top dots moving from the center outward. So I'm going to do this one first, because this way, you know, if you work from the outside in and you make a mistake here, it's very hard to wipe that paint off. So this is Pure Sunshine. Woohoo! All right, so now I'm not going to go as white as this green. I think that might be good. And you try to get as best you can. This has a little peak to it. I don't know if you can see it. It's got like a little peak. So this paint sometimes will move off of it, but we do the best we can to get it in the center. Yeah. And that is the only place that we have Pure Sunshine on this one. This is right in the center. And now I'm going to take that green and do this here. And so the top dotting on this one isn't too extensive, but the one I just painted that will wait, that will dry overnight. We'll top dot tomorrow, and then the following day put the sealant on it. This might be too big. I'm not a fan, really. I don't like to cover too much of it, but we'll give it a shot. We'll see. Nope. Dip it in the water. So I'm okay because the rest of this is already dry. Oh no, look what I did. Look at, okay, well that's got to come off too. Okay. There we go, let's start over. So let's see what we did here. I think it was this one. There we go. All right. And I think I'm going to go with this tool. Yep. And then the last top dots we're going to do note to self, don't close the cap on top of wet paint. All right, the last one is orange. Orange. I think it's, nope, it's not that orange. Hon, which orange is this? That's that light orange, right? Isn't it that? Is it that one?
Yeah, it's the squeezed orange.
Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you. Yeah, this is it. Look at that. Squeezed orange. Sunshine and squeezed orange. Woohoo. Rocking and rolling. I think that's going to be this one too. You can tell I'm dreaming about sunshine and oh, and there's been times too where we almost finish with a rock and one of us bumps the other's arm. I'm guilty of that. I bumped Colin's arms a couple times. And that is it for the top dot on this one. So now this one will dry with the top dots. So again, this is the first layer. This is the layer with the top dots. And then this is with the sealant. Again, don't pay any attention to the brush strokes if you can see it, because this is the original sealant. We have a much better sealant we've been using for a while. And that's how it gets done in stages. So this one ultimately takes 3 days because we paint. Sometimes we can do these. If I do a flat dot, if I do the base coat in the morning, I can come back and top dot at night. That's sometimes we're able to get both done in the same day. But minimum, these stones take 2 days because by the time the sealant gets put on and has to cure. So, 2 to 3 days. But we have them stocked up, so you guys don't have to worry about waiting for those, right? Because we have them stocked up. Oh, look what I did. Where did that come from? All right. I don't know which. I'll find it later. I think maybe I'm okay. Maybe I just hit something from the side. We do clean the stones up too as much as we can. There are nuances to them, obviously, but yeah, so that's how we do it. So thank you for joining us tonight. Did we have any last minute questions before we go?
No questions. Some very nice compliments.
Oh, nice.
Gail, Janice, and Janice again. So
awesome. So glad you guys are all here tonight to join us. So maybe tomorrow night, Colin, I'm going to be teaching yoga tomorrow night, so I won't be live, but maybe Colin will consider going live.
It's possible.
If not, maybe Friday or Saturday to do some minis. We haven't showed you guys how we do the minis yet.
Minis would be fun. They're very quick.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So we're also going to do a giveaway. We were thinking Friday, but we're not sure if it's going to be Friday or Sunday. So just bear with us because we're still trying to plan that out. So more to come, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Have a good night.
Have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.